Hello, Louisville. Guess who's coming to dinner? Hello, Louisville. Welcome back to Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. It's dinner time. You know, the only thing about it being dinner time is that we're not having dinner. But in a month or so, we will be recording the show in a studio, having dinner by one of Louisville's top black chefs. Oh, yes, we will get real with this Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. But I'm very excited tonight because I'm going to be talking to our newest elected member of Metro Council, none other than the Honorable Councilman Jecorey Arthur. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm actually up here at City Hall now, wrapping up some work before I head out.
Oh yeah, you getting in the swing of things, huh?
Yes, ma'am, I am. It's quite the world. It's a different world up here at City Hall, being on the inside of government.
Yeah, tell me about it. Cause you didn't come from government, or were you in a political arena? Tell me how you got to where you are.
So I spent my career talking about government, speaking about government, teaching about government, performing about government. I'm a certified public school teacher. I've actually taught full-time within JCPS. I've done freelance workshops across JCPS. I'm also a musician, and I've performed around the world, taught around the world. But what I've noticed, on that journey, everything that I saw our students going through and dealing with in that school building,
Yeah.
it started outside of the school building within our larger community. And I realized that it was going to take political change, the political process, to actually impact what they were going through. So at first I just thought about lobbying and kind of turning up my political activism a bit. But when former Councilwoman Barbara Sexton Smith decided that she would not re-seek election, I decided, you know what? This is a calling, and here I am.
Yeah.
Now I'm the youngest ever in history. I'm the blackest, and some people say I'm the prettiest.
Go ahead. I hear you. Well, now, what did you teach? What was your subject matter that you taught at
So I taught music. I have a music education degree. I have two of them, a bachelor's and a master's.
Get out of here. You know I'm a jazz singer, right?
We got to collaborate.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. But I'm so excited about who you are. It seems like, it's another voice coming to the forefront, and this is kind of what the show is about, bringing another voice into the conversation about racism and racist policies and what our community needs and who can tell our community what they need. You know what I'm saying? And so what do you foresee? What's your mission? What's your plan for holding this office?
Well, a huge part of that plan is a reflection of what I've been doing during my career in general, which is to teach.
Okay.
I truly believe that we're in a space now where people are probably willing to listen more than they ever have in history, because we have so much access to information. And we saw what happened throughout 2020 with protests. Some people say it was an awakening, but I would say that we, as people who are black in this city and this country at large, we've always been up and aware of what's been going on around us. But some people have been hitting that snooze button, even when the alarm was ringing before.
Right.
So to teach people about what's going on is incredibly important, because sometimes you can't bring forth a solution if there are people, especially on council, who don't know that there's a problem.
Right.
So teaching is a large part of that. But when it comes to my political agenda, as far as the legislative practice, I'm going to be addressing poverty, because everything touches poverty, whether it's issues with housing, issues with crime, issues with anything. It's going to always be centered around the fact that you have a lack of economic access.
Right. You're absolutely right. That was before they assassinated Dr. King. That's where he was going with the Poor People's March, and what a lot of people didn't understand. When you say poor, they think, white people think that poor means black, but more white people are poor than black people. And they don't get it. They don't understand that when there are initiatives out to feed the homeless and things of that nature, They think they're feeding just black people. Not so.
Right. There are poor people all across this city. I mean, our district is a perfect reflection and example of poverty. District 4, that
Right.
encompasses downtown Louisville, all the skyscrapers that you see down here and the pretty lights and the Yum Center. District 4 is the most impoverished council district out of the entire city. We
Really?
have downtown Louisville and the surrounding neighborhoods. We are number one in poverty. We are number one in extreme low income. Number two in unemployment, right behind District 5, where Councilwoman Donna Purvis is. But we might as well be number one because we're only a difference of 0.3%. We're number one in rental insecurity, number one in housing instability, number one in percentage of people who are renting versus owning, number two in COVID instability, and number four on the equity index. And it'd probably be higher, but a quarter of the factors in the equity index are for people who are foreign born, and we don't have a large foreign born population, almost 4%. It's majority black, and as you can see, it's majority like a reflection of everything that's wrong with Louisville. So I'm here to change that. I'm here to not run away from it and be a council person who's going to walk around shaking hands, kissing babies, and giggling and laughing with you. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make progress. And we have been sitting with these issues for way too long. Over the course of my life, I'm 28 now, almost 30. Life has only gotten worse.
Yeah.
And when you look around our town, you look around our neighborhoods, you have to ask what some of these politicians, not just locally, but statewide and also above us, have been doing.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of work to be done. You got a full plate. You got a full plate and a take-home plate. Because it's every, like you say, the poverty aspect of it deals with everything that we housing, our kids, food discrepancies, everything about our community is lacking. When the funds are going out to uplift and invest in communities, now we've got the big thing with the new Beecher Terrace or the new Parkland, the new Russell area. But that's just one little piece of the puzzle. But I'm thinking about, I saw something on the news tonight about some ladies that were going to build some condominiums in the Parkland area. But do you know that it's been 50 years since the riots and that nothing has ever been done to bring anything back into that community? And I thought about that today. I said, now that's sinful. That's sinful. So,
Oh, for sure.
Go on.
I was just going to point out, I brought that up on a call not too long ago with Mayor Greg Fisher, because we received some funding to help build a park in Parkland. And my company will be a part of that initiative. We've been working on it for a few years now. We'll have trees, we'll have a stage area, and we'll have performances. We'll have an area for businesses to come and set up shop. But in the midst of this, virtual press conference, I let them know I'm happy about this, and this is going to be something wonderful for the neighborhood. But let's not act like you should be, patted on the back and you should get some sort of high five. You owe our community this, because our community has been neglected for over 5 decades.
Absolutely.
After you know what has happened there. So you owe us this.
All right, because I was there. I was there the day it all broke out. And so now I'm sitting here talking about something that happened 50 years ago. And I can ride through neighborhoods and see that whatever was torn down or burned down was never, ever replaced. My mother used to call, when they had urban, they called it urban renewal. My mother called it urban removal. Because that's when they kind of scooted our butts on down to the west. And we had white flight. But you do live in a different, you do represent a different kind of district, because you got downtown, you got Smoketown, you got some of Smoketown too.
Yep, I got majority of Smoketown, majority of Shelby Park, a little bit of the Butchertown area, pretty much all of downtown. Councilman David James has a small corner on the southwest, about half of the Russell neighborhood, a nice chunk of Portland, California, Old Louisville, Irish Hill, Meriwether, Fort Hill. All in all, we have about 14 neighborhoods that touch the district.
Okay, okay, okay. So now let me go to another matter that is of some concern to me, and I know there's not much we can do about it at this point in time. But we got a new sheriff's in town. I guess you could say we have a new chief of police, and I can't I don't understand the rationale behind that selection, and then to understand, because when they say, all they're saying is she was the best choice. Why was she the best choice? They never say why she was the best choice. They just say she was the best choice. Do you have any feelings about that, or a viewpoint about that? I know everybody's going to try to work with her because it is what it is right now. But what do you feel about that?
Well, if the best choice is a chief who quit after one of her officers killed a black man, the other choices must have been chiefs who actually went through with killing a black man themselves.
Deep, ain't it? Deep, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
I had to go grab, ain't it? But
right.
it just makes me say, so if you say you left because they needed healing, how would you couldn't you come to our community thinking you can help heal our wounds?
Mm-hmm.
They're on the same playing field. You can't run from another fire. You jump out of one fire, what they say, out of the fire into the frying pan, or out of the frying pan into the fire. I mean, I was trying to understand that there was something that I maybe shouldn't say this, but there was a nuance about her that made me think in one way, and that was she has a very, I think it's a way of speaking that sounds like she has learned how to maybe sound a little black, to give her some assimilation with black folks, to make her feel, to make us feel that she understands our needs, and that's the only thing that stuck out to me when the first time I heard her speak, was that, you know how it used to be back in the day. People say, "Oh, she's cool," because she hung around black folks. She's cool, but that doesn't make you cool. Just because you have somewhat assimilated or finessed our culture to your benefit, so it makes you seem like that you would be more empathetic towards us. That's
Right.
what I got.
And we're past that. It is 2021. I don't care if white people talk like us. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. Put your money where your mouth is.
Right.
And what I've said over and over to different media outlets, she can talk all day long. When I talk with her and we finally sit down, if she's not willing to divest the almost $250 million budget that they have almost $250 million on that police budget, almost half of our city budget, over half of our city budget. If she's not willing to divest some of that and put it into some community programs, then that's all she is. She's talk.
She's talking. Okay. All right. Well, it's just been. I'm hopeful and I'm prayerful for our city, but I know that there's a lot of work to do, and I know I'm excited about you because you bring a whole different energy. You know that. It's like. What's the brothers? Bobby Seale is up in Chicago. You make me think about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you come from being on the activist side of things, but an educated activist at that. You come from that side into this political arena where you can help sit and make policy, but your policy that you're looking to make is intentional. You know what I'm saying? What you want to do sounds very intentional to me. And that's what we need. We need somebody that's and not ashamed to stand up and say, I'm not with the other program. This is my agenda, and it's intentional, because we need to be purposeful about everything that our city is going through in order to make change.
Yeah, they're doing us bad out here. I mean, we're only a quarter of the city's population,
Right.
but we are a quarter of the jails. We are a quarter of the, excuse me, three-quarters of the jails, three-quarters of the evictions. Our students are three-quarters of the school suspensions. We're three-quarters of the homelessness, and we got less than a tenth of the city's wealth. We are locked out of having access to really live in a city that we built. And I'm here to not only remind them of that, but to do something about that.
Jecorey, were you born here?
Born and raised. I'm originally from the Parkland neighborhood, where we know Muhammad Ali is from, and now I live in the Russell neighborhood, west of downtown.
Okay. All right. All right. So I'm happy to. You're not. I'm not in your district, but I'm just happy to know that you're there. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
I know that you've got a totally different voice. You got a different picture that you can paint for them to see. You know, and artistically, we know how to do that. Like you say, with your words, with your music, with your ability, and having traveled around the world. I myself did my little bit of traveling. I lived in Paris for 5 years, but
Wow.
you've got something else going on with you when you've seen more than most, and you can share that, and you can incorporate that into everything that you do, because poverty is poverty all over the world. But right now, we're just trying to work on Jecorey helping our situation in Louisville, Kentucky. Well, I want to say hats off to you and congratulations.
Thank
You know,
you.
you must have ran a heck of a campaign. You had a lot of people behind you.
Right. You know what's crazy about the campaign? When I first announced, I was talking the way I talk now.
Yeah.
And in that first 2 months, people told me, you better be quiet talking about race and talk about being black and being so pro this and pro that. Don't talk about poverty. Don't talk about homelessness. They said a lot of what I shouldn't talk about. And I almost got off my square a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I realized I would rather lose being myself than to win being somebody else. That way, when I win, you know exactly what I'm about. You know exactly what I'm in here trying to do. And what's interesting about 2020, as I campaigned, I stayed true to myself and stayed true to our people. And then March came into the new year, COVID-19 hit, and now everybody's talking about the discrepancy between how it impacts black people and how it impacts other people.
Right.
Then the marches hit, everybody's talking about racial justice. I've been talking about that. And now everything that I've been saying is even more relevant than it was before. So now you almost have no choice but to listen to it.
Right. Hey, look, it's in front of their face, so it's time for it's confrontation time, kind of sort of, and it's everybody has to be on the same page and see the same picture, because you paint a picture, and someone else can't paint. The people that the white council people can't paint a different picture. This is all one city, and the picture is the same. Well, I am honored that you were able to spend some time with me, and I know you're in there catching up. You gonna stay ahead of the game. You're gonna be in there a whole lot of nights, real late, doing your thing. But if you ever need some support and somebody to be in your corner, or you've got something that you want to talk to our community about, I would love to have you on again. When I worked this out, as far as having dinner, see, I had big dreams of the show being a set where I had 4 or 5 people that I interviewed, and we were having this conversation over dinner.
Right.
So I look to be working with the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage to set up a studio where I will actually be having dinner prepared by black chefs, promoting black businesses in our community, doing whatever I can to help us along the way. And so I just want you to know a little bit about who I am, so you can holler at me whenever you like.
Absolutely. I love that idea so much. And as people listen to this, I already kind of started writing one of my first pieces of legislation that I would love, love, love to have input about. It's called Historically Black Neighborhoods, and it's essentially created to help our neighborhoods stay protected from outside investment, outside people who are coming to displace us and gentrify us. It's not to like tell them not to do anything in our neighborhoods, but that if you're going to come here, you need to work with us and not work against us. And that's available right now on my website, JecoreyArthur.com.
Okay, I'll check it out. But
Thank you.
you've got my numbers. You know, if you need my help in any kind of way, just let me know. And I'm very proud of you, and my hats off to you. And
Thank you.
fight the good fight, as John Lewis said. You got a good fight to fight. Go fight that good fight.
Absolutely.
All
I
right?
appreciate it. All
Take
right.
care, Jecorey. I'll
All
be
right,
in touch.
peace.
All right,
Okay.
darling. Bye-bye.
All right.
Wow. Wow. He was something.
Tough, ain't he?
Woo! Brother's not playing. Brother's not playing. That's a wonderful thing. You know, a young man sitting on our city council, our metro council. We need that. We need that energy. We need his fire. We need his viewpoint. We need his intellect. We need him, and that's why he's there. But no mistake, you know, God don't make no mistakes. So he's there to help us, and I think the community needs to support him as much as possible, whenever, you know, because he's coming from the other side. He's come to the other side of the fence because he knows what's going on the other side of the fence. So I'm excited about that. I just want to segue over here to let you know that Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is going to be on only now on Mondays and Fridays. We're going to start out the week and we're going to end up the week. I had to leave the Wednesday alone because I was interrupting with Bible study. So I'm not trying to do that. So Mondays and Fridays. Still working on the project to come to you on Wave 3 at some point in the very near future. But until that works itself out, I will still be here introducing different voices to you from the community, talking about racism, talking about racist policies, trying to find solutions. I want to help uplift Black businesses in the community. That's a part of the show's mission, is to do the things that I can do with this show. I want to promote the Black chefs in the city, and in that turn, that helps promote the restaurants that are having difficult times during COVID. But stay in touch. Tell a friend. I'll be here. If you need to reach out to me, just check me out on Jantastic Productions on Facebook or Jantastic Productions YouTube channel. And don't forget, we have our very own Jantastic Productions Roku channel. If you have a Roku stick or a Roku television or a smart TV that comes with Roku, you can just download us. You have to type in the name Jantastic Productions. Download us on your TV or on your Roku stick, and we are just like another TV channel. So you can see us on the big screen. You don't have to look at us on your phone or your computer. You can look at us on your big screen TV. So that's Jantastic Productions on Roku. Okay. All right. So today is Friday, and next Monday we're going to have Mr. George Demery, who was formerly the general manager at one of our radio stations here in the city, and now the COO at St. Stephen's. And next Friday we'll be having the present president of the NAACP, Raul Cunningham. So don't miss us, because we're going to be talking about stuff on Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. So you need to come to dinner on Mondays at 7, on Fridays at 7, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Roku. On that note, stay safe, Stay masked up. Be safe. Get your inoculation. There are some links out there. They're having the YMCA down on 18th and Broadway, and naturally, the Urban League. People are going to those two facilities in the West to get vaccinated. They say vaccinated really should be inoculated. On that note, this is JC saying, guess who's coming to dinner? Bon appetit. Go have dinner. Talk to you later.